In the heart of Curitiba, Brazil, where the streets pulse with life and the spirit of resilience runs deep, a young girl named Cristiane Justino Venancio dreamed of something greater. Little did she know, her journey would take her from the humble gyms of her hometown to the global stage of mixed martial arts, where she would become one of the most feared and respected fighters in history. This is the story of Cris Cyborg, a legend forged in fire, strength, and unyielding determination. Cris Cyborg was born on July 9, 1985, in Curitiba, a city known for its grit and determination. Growing up in a tough neighborhood, Cris faced challenges from an early age. Her family worked hard to make ends meet, and Cris often helped out by working on farms and doing manual labor. But amidst the struggles, she found solace in sports. As a child, Cris excelled in soccer and handball, showcasing her natural athleticism and competitive spirit. However, it wasn't until she discovered martial arts that her true passion was ignited. At the age of 19, Cris stepped into a gym for the first time, drawn to the discipline and power of martial arts. She began training in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Muay Thai, quickly falling in love with the intensity and strategy of combat sports. Her coaches immediately recognized her potential, not just because of her physical strength, but because of her relentless work ethic and hunger to improve. Cris trained tirelessly, often putting in hours before and after her day job. She was determined to make a name for herself, no matter the cost. In 2005, Cris made her professional MMA debut, and it didn't take long for her to make an impact. Competing in regional promotions across Brazil, she quickly amassed an impressive record, showcasing her devastating striking and relentless aggression. Her fights were explosive, often ending in brutal knockouts that left audiences in awe. By 2008, Cris had caught the attention of major promotions, and her journey to global stardom began. Cris's breakthrough came in Strikeforce, where she became the face of women's MMA. In 2009, she faced Gina Carano in one of the most anticipated fights in women's MMA history. The bout was billed as a clash of titans, and Cris delivered. She dominated Carano with her striking and pressure, finishing the fight in the first round to claim the Strikeforce Featherweight Championship. This victory catapulted Cris into the spotlight and solidified her status as one of the best fighters in the world. After Strikeforce, Cris joined the UFC, where she continued her dominance. In 2017, she defeated Tonya Evinger to claim the UFC Featherweight Championship, becoming the first woman to hold the title. Cris defended her belt successfully, showcasing her skills against top contenders like Holly Holm and Yana Kunitskaya. Her time in the UFC further cemented her legacy as one of the greatest fighters of all time. Cris Cyborg's departure from the UFC in 2019 was a significant moment in MMA history, marked by a combination of contractual disputes and a desire for new challenges. After losing her UFC featherweight title to Amanda Nunes in a highly anticipated superfight at UFC 232, Cyborg's relationship with the promotion became strained. She expressed frustration with the UFC's handling of her career, including issues with fight negotiations and promotional support. Additionally, Cyborg sought a fresh start where she could continue to showcase her skills and legacy on her own terms. In December 2019, she signed with Bellator MMA, where she quickly became the face of the promotion's women's featherweight division. Her move to Bellator allowed her to reclaim her status as a dominant champion and further solidify her legacy as one of the greatest fighters in MMA history. While her UFC exit was controversial, it opened a new chapter in her storied career, proving that Cris Cyborg's impact on the sport transcends any single promotion. In 2020, Cris signed with Bellator, where she quickly became the face of the promotion's women's featherweight division. She won the Bellator Featherweight Championship in her third fight with the promotion, defeating Julia Budd to add another title to her collection. Cris's dominance in Bellator has proven that she's still one of the best in the world, even after decades in the sport. Cris Cyborg faced Sinead Kavanagh at Bellator 271 in November 2021 in a highly anticipated women's featherweight title defense. Kavanagh, a tough and gritty fighter from Ireland, entered the bout as an underdog, but with the determination to challenge the legendary champion. From the opening bell, Cyborg showcased her trademark aggression and power, overwhelming Kavanagh with a relentless striking attack. In the first round, Cyborg landed a devastating right hand that sent Cavani to the canvas, securing a knockout victory and successfully defending her Bellator featherweight title. This fight further solidified Cyborg's dominance in the division and highlighted her ability to finish elite opponents with her unparalleled striking. While Cavani showed heart, Cyborg's performance was a reminder of why she remains one of the most feared fighters in women's MMA history. Outside the cage, Cris Cyborg is a devoted wife, stepmother, and philanthropist. She's married to Ray Elba, a former MMA fighter, and the two share a close-knit family. Cris is also deeply committed to giving back to her community, often working with underprivileged children in Brazil and using her platform to inspire others. Her humility and generosity off the mat are just as impactful as her performances inside it. At 38 years old, Cris Cyborg shows no signs of slowing down. She continues to dominate in Bellator, and fans are eager to see what's next for the legend. Potential super fights against fighters like Kayla Harrison or a return to the UFC for a rematch with Amanda Nunes could be on the horizon. Regardless of what's next, Cris's legacy as one of the greatest fighters in MMA history is already secure. Fans around the world continue to celebrate Cris Cyborg's incredible career. Social media is filled with admiration for her dominance, resilience, and contributions to the sport. Whether she's knocking out opponents or inspiring the next generation, Cris's impact on MMA is undeniable. Cris Cyborg's journey from the streets of Curitiba to becoming a global MMA icon is a story of perseverance, passion, and unparalleled success. She's a true pioneer of women's MMA and a living legend of the sport. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more MMA content. Who do you think Cris Cyborg should fight next? Let us know in the comments below. Until next time, stay tuned for more updates on your favorite fighters. See you in the next video.